Breaking developments out of Washington tonight. After decades of failed attempts and political gridlock, Congress just passed the most comprehensive immigration reform package in modern American history. This isn't about incremental tweaks or temporary executive actions. This is a complete restructuring of how millions of people will live, work, and build their futures in the United States. If you're waiting for a green card, stuck in a visa backlog, or living here without documentation, what happened today will directly change your life. The U.S. Immigration Reform and Modernization Act of 2025 just cleared both chambers of Congress. The Senate vote was 61-39. The House followed with majority approval. The bill now moves to the President's desk where it's expected to be signed within days. This is real. This is happening. And the changes are massive. We're breaking down every major provision in this bill, what it means for your specific situation, and what you need to do right now to prepare. Before we go further, subscribe and hit the notification bell. This is the most important immigration update of the year, and you cannot afford to miss what comes next. The shocking reality. Let's be honest about what this moment represents. Immigration reform has been politically impossible for nearly 2 decades. Bills have died in committee. Bipartisan negotiations have collapsed at the last minute. Millions of families have watched Congress debate their futures year after year with zero results. Until now. What made this different? Sustained pressure from business coalitions, advocacy groups, and both political parties finally reached a breaking point. The workforce shortages, the family separation crisis, and the complete breakdown of predictable processing timelines forced lawmakers to act. This bill isn't perfect, and not everyone supports it. But it passed. And that alone makes it historic. So, what exactly is in this legislation, and why are immigration attorneys calling it the most significant reform since 1986? Let me walk you through the provisions that will reshape the entire system. Major changes breakdown. The 10-year pathway for undocumented individuals. The most controversial provision creates a legal pathway for qualifying undocumented immigrants. If you've been living in the United States, contributing to your community, and meet specific eligibility requirements, you can now apply for conditional legal status. The requirements include long-term continuous residence, clean background checks, employment history, and proof of community ties. This conditional status can eventually lead to permanent residency and then citizenship over a 10-year timeline. For millions of people who built lives here without legal status, this represents the first real opportunity for stability. Employment-based green card revolution. For skilled workers from India and China, this bill eliminates the nightmare of per-country caps. Those arbitrary limits created decades-long backlogs for professionals in technology, healthcare, and research. Under the new system, green card processing moves based on your filing date, not your country of birth. Engineers, doctors, researchers, and other highly skilled workers stuck in 10 to 15-year waits will see their cases advance. Family immigration gets digital transformation. The bill mandates technological upgrades across USCIS processing systems. Digital case tracking becomes standard. The law sets clear processing time targets that agencies must meet by 2027. It also restores visa numbers that were lost in previous years due to administrative delays. Those restored numbers alone could reunite thousands of families who've been separated by backlogs. Border management and asylum processing. The legislation funds modernized technology at ports of entry. Upgraded surveillance systems, improved data infrastructure, and enhanced security measures are all included. The bill sets targeted timelines for asylum case reviews with legally supervised decisions. The goal is reducing detention periods while creating a more transparent and orderly process. The startup visa category. This is entirely new. Qualified foreign entrepreneurs can now establish companies in the United States through a specialized visa program. The requirements include meeting job creation benchmarks and investment thresholds. The United States is now actively recruiting international innovators and job creators. H-1B and L-1 visa protections. The bill brings updated wage standards to prevent exploitation. For international students graduating from U.S. universities, especially in STEM fields, there are now clearer pathways from student status to employment-based residency. The uncertainty that plagued previous transitions gets replaced with defined processes. Green card holder improvements. If you've been a lawful permanent resident for over a decade, re-entry rules for short international trips are now simplified. The bill also strengthens legal protections during renewal processes, ensuring greater transparency and support. Humanitarian program expansions. DACA recipients finally get a legislatively defined pathway to permanent residency. This removes the uncertainty of executive actions that changed with every administration. Temporary protected status beneficiaries and refugees also see expanded protections. What this means right now. Here's what you need to understand about implementation. The president is expected to sign this bill within days. But that signature doesn't mean applications open immediately. Federal agencies, DHS, USCIS, the State Department, need time to issue official guidance. They must define eligibility requirements precisely. They must create application procedures. They must establish processing timelines. Do not file anything until official instructions are released. That's critical. Premature applications will be rejected and could create complications. Instead, use this time to prepare. Start organizing your documentation right now. Gather tax records showing continuous residence. Collect proof of employment history. Compile evidence of community ties, leases, utility bills, school records. Organize family documentation, birth certificates, marriage certificates, divorce decrees if applicable. Having everything ready means you can act immediately when application windows officially open. For visa applicants watching priority dates, expect the visa bulletin to shift as backlogs readjust under the new rules. For green card holders dealing with processing delays, the digital upgrades and efficiency mandates should bring faster updates and clearer communication. Action steps. While we wait for official guidance, here's exactly what you should do. First, stay informed through official channels. Monitor USCIS.gov for implementation announcements. Watch for guidance from the Department of Homeland Security. Follow verified immigration law sources, not social media rumors. Misinformation will spread quickly. Verify everything. Second, organize your documentation now. Don't wait for applications to open. Create a comprehensive file with every document that proves your eligibility. If you're missing critical records, start requesting them immediately. Some documents take weeks or months to obtain. Third, consult with immigration attorneys if needed. If you have complex issues, prior immigration violations, criminal history, previous denials, get professional guidance before filing anything. This reform creates opportunities, but mistakes during application can still result in denials. Empowerment close. What happened today in Congress is more than policy. It's about millions of people who can finally plan their futures with clarity instead of fear. For families separated by backlogs, this is hope for reunion. For workers trapped in visa limbo, this is movement after years of stagnation. For undocumented individuals who built lives here, this is the first real pathway to permanence. The system isn't perfect yet. Implementation challenges will emerge. But today represents something undeniable: progress. After decades of legislative failure, Congress finally delivered comprehensive reform. The path forward requires preparation, patience, and vigilance. But that path now exists. And for millions of people, that changes everything. We'll continue tracking every stage of implementation. As agencies release official guidance, you'll get verified updates immediately. If this breakdown helped you understand what's happening, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Share this with anyone whose life will be affected by this historic reform. Thank you for trusting us with this critical information. We'll see you in the next update.